Welcome to part 2. Don't need to really talk to this guy. He just, I really kind of should explain it, but whatever. Basically, the catch to this game is there are Lord Souls, and each Lord Soul enables you to satiate a Lord Vessel. There are 2 Bells of Awakening which enable you to get closer to the Lord Vessel to go to Anor Londo. The Bell of Awakening can be found deep underground, past Quilag's domain, and the first Bell of Awakening can be found on the very top of the Undead Burg. We'll be going there first because you can't get to the Bell of Awakening without going to the Undead Burg. And when you've opened them, you'll see a lovely NPC pop out right where I am now. But for now, we're going to worry too much about that. I'm going to go over here and join a covenant really quickly. Very slow, I'm sorry. Yes, we've met. Who gives a shit?
But I... no.
Thanks for the copper coin. I can sell that later.
I have so would.
Yeah, that'll please me.
Very... now.
Oh, okay. Learn gesture. I learned shrug. And I joined the Covenant Way of White. Now I can purchase a talisman and heal. But for heal I need 4,000 souls. So for now I'm just going to purchase the talisman.
Come again.
Okay. Covenants in this game are like clans. Each covenant allows you to do and have a certain amount of things. I still can't roll very far. Why not? It's better than nothing. The Way of White Covenant will allow you to use miracles, like heal miracles and stuff like that. However, some other covenants will allow you to do other things, such as invade other people's games, bring justice to people who have sinned using a book of fuck knows what, can't remember. Pretty much we're getting bombarded by firebombs because of this dickhead. Get the fuck up there. Being able to be mobile and versatile in this game is almost a must. There are enemies everywhere, all the time. There is no safe point like the Nexus and Demon Souls. You cannot go to an area and hide and where there's no enemies. Enemies can and will attack you every opportunity and every location they possibly can. Which is shit, but you know what? That's life. As you're sprinting, you can tap circle for the PS3, or not quite sure what the button is for Xbox, to do a running jump, which is very, very good. And we've got our very first ring, Ring of Sacrifice. Equipping this ring will allow you to not lose your humanity or souls upon death. And when you first start the game, you are dependent on souls and humanity, so it is really worth it. But for the most part, this game is trial and error. You'll die. You'll die a lot. And you'll get pissed off and upset and angry and all that kind of crap, but it happens. It really does. Kill this rat. Rats drop humanity. Apparently this rat I just killed disappears, so whatever. Take it left here, and we're in our first area. Almost. Now we are. The Undead Burg. This is pretty much like the Proletarian Castle for the... sort of. For the Demon Souls equivalent. This game is kind of like a giant map. It doesn't really have a central point. It doesn't have like an area where you can seek refuge. Filing Shrine, where I just came from, probably seems to be the safest place. I don't know. When you play this game, you'll feel very drained, pretty much physically and emotionally, because those stairs go nowhere. Nice. Because it's tough. It's not supposed to be easy, and a lot of people complained about it. And they actually had to release patches to make it so the game wouldn't be easier. There was a lot of glitches and stuff that people took advantage of, Personally, I only took advantage of one, and that was on one of my main accounts. And I just did that for fun. I wanted to see what would happen. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much. Unless you are... because other people did the glitch as well. Once again, I'll be doing parts to the fog door and stuff like that. To most fog doors or most bonfires, probably. Because bonfires aren't like... they're sort of like fragments of a nexus. But they're still dangerous, so when I've made sure that no one's nearby, I'll be able to rest of the bonfire. Kill you. And I've played this game many times and beaten it many times, so a lot of stuff is fresh in my head. And as far as I'm concerned, there's no way you can avoid death. In the previous Demon Souls, what you can do is if you die, as you die, hold the home button for the PlayStation, and you will actually quit game as it's saving your death or just before your death. And when you return to your game, you will actually still be alive and at the last place that you actually had a game save. But as you can see in this instance, the save file is noted by a fire in the top right corner of your screen. Every time you kill an enemy, it will automatically save your game in small states, bit by bit. So you can't really get away from that. You'll automatically end up being killed as soon as you start a new game, or as soon as you do the quit out trick. So you kind of fucked either way. And you got a lot. The AI in this game is probably a bit smarter than in Demon Souls. In saying that, they still can be pretty dumb, and there can still be times where you just look at an enemy and go, what the fuck? But most of the time, they can be quite tough. Find an enemy behind here. And I'm pretty annoyed that the thrusting attack for the longsword isn't back in this game. It's a sweeping attack. And here's our first merchant. And the first thing you want to purchase is a bottomless box. And we'll grab a resonance key as well. Why not? Can't wield a bow or a dagger or anything like that just yet.
Thank you,
The reason why we're getting those is because we will help someone out later that will teach us spells, and we will also be able to bank our objects, sort of, so to speak. Kill these guys. Hopefully not die in the process. That'd be very embarrassing. Oops, wrong button. There are a lot of bosses in this game. Half of them are avoidable. So you can actually bypass a lot of the bosses. Some you actually are intentionally supposed to verse. I will tell you which ones you're able to avoid and how, and I'll tell you which ones you're unable to avoid when we get to them. The ones which give you Lord Souls, however, you are unable to avoid, and you really must beat them. But for the most part, you can avoid half of the bosses. And that ends part 2. So we let that bonfire, actually, hang on. I'm going to bank all the souls. Oh, shit. I hate it when it automatically equips shit. Bank all the souls. Humanity, don't need the rubbish or the copper coin. Throwing knife might come in handy. Bank that, bank that. Anything I don't need. It's a bottomless box, so you can bank whatever you literally don't need. Man, can I level up at least one thing? I cannot. 30 more souls. Okay, that ends part 2. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.